They both have flaws, even though Fury's undefeated. We've seen him on the floor, but we've also seen him rise from the dead on the floor. He's extraordinary that way. We also saw him rise from the floor again against Wilder, a second time in the third fight. So at the end of the day, it should be a competitive fight. He better be ready, Fury. I know that sounds silly. You're always ready when you get in the ring, but sometimes we're human. Sometimes you overlook a guy, especially when you're on a streak of winning like Fury is. He better not overlook this guy White. It would be a huge. Hey, you overlook anyone, it's a huge mistake potentially, but it would be a huge mistake if he overlooked him. Like I said, I think the fight plan shows you some things that each guy can do to win the fight. There was opportunities for both guys to win. And that's what makes it a fight that's worth watching. That both guys, you can make an argument that both guys can win. I'll finish with this. There's an X factor hanging in the air that just happened. And the X factors can be flies and ointments sometimes. And, is Fury's mind jumbled up a little bit now? I know he's survived everything. He survived suicidal thoughts with substance abuse and great depression that he went through. Give him credit for that. That he went through a couple of years of that, and he was able to defeat that. You figure a guy defeat that. I mean, he's been in the darkest places that a human being can be in, and he found a way to find light. So he might be untouchable with this stuff. Maybe. I don't think anyone's untouchable. It depends on what point in your life, too. For me, the X factor would be is Fury's mind jumbled up with all the stuff flying around him about Daniel Kinahan, the drug cartel head, who was Fury's friend and advisor, for some years. And he was just sanctioned and named by the United States Treasury Department, as the head of one of Europe's biggest drug cartels. And you don't want the U.S. government coming down on you.
Teddy, is that bad? It sounds bad. I'm just asking for a friend. Is that bad if you're in business with the head of a drug cartel?
I don't think it's good.
It sounds bad. I don't know. Like I said, someone was asking me.
I don't think it's. I mean, listen, ask Aram. Aram was obviously in business with him because he represents Fury with ESPN, obviously, and of course Frank Warren. They brought him over to ESPN. It's been great for ESPN. I mean, they paid him a lot of money to get him, but it's been great for ESPN being able to have the heavyweight champ, the linear heavyweight champ, and a guy who's a great promoter, a guy who's a character, a guy who's maybe the biggest star, maybe bigger star than Canelo right now in boxing. So yeah, it's been great, and obviously Aram was doing business with Kinahan. It's not just Fury to him. But now, look, now that the United States government has stepped in,
Department of Justice,
the Department of Justice and Treasury has stepped in.
They usually spend a lot of time chasing their tails and sending up false flags against drug cartels.
Yeah, well,
isn't that
too much.
ESPN, isn't that Disney who just canceled any reference to genders, boys and girls? They have no problem with someone who's under investigation for being the head of a drug cartel. Again, I don't know. I'm asking for a friend. Someone asked me this.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like Murderers Inc. meets Mother Goose. I don't know, or Daffy Duck, or Minnie Mouse, or Mickey Mouse. But I don't know.
I see boxing people on Twitter, big boxing personalities that are involved in the sport, defending his involvement in the sport. And again, I don't know him from a hole in the wall. I've never met him. I don't know anything about him. But I know if the DOJ is investigating you and accusing you of these things, doesn't mean it's true. But they usually get convictions. You usually don't get found innocent when the FBI or the Department of Justice comes for you. But I see people with big personalities and big presence in the boxing world on Twitter, especially defending him and saying like, no, he's a good guy. He's been nothing but good for boxing. I guess the other transgressions can be.
Well, I mean, listen, it's, if a guy, if it's true, and a guy is what they say this guy is, there's nothing good there. I mean, your product kills people, kills children, destroys families. It kills people. So I don't see how you defend that. But listen, human beings can defend anything if there's an agenda attached to it, or there's a reason for themselves and self-preservation or self-profit, whatever. I don't know. I'm not here. I'm not here to judge anybody. I can only say what I believe in, and what I believe right and wrong doesn't make me right. It just makes me of those beliefs. That's all. But at the end of the day, does this stuff, everybody's right. You're talking about some people that defend them, but meanwhile, Arum ain't one of them. He quickly, what's that old saying? The rats are fleeing the ship pretty fast. He found a life raft really fast to get off that ship. Because he understands better than most what it means when the Justice Department comes after you. That's where he started. He was a Harvard graduated lawyer who started with the Justice Department, many, 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 many years ago, before he became a promoter. When they were investigating the mob controlling boxing, the Kiefout investigation, I believe it was called, way, way back when Frankie Carbo and Blinky Palermo used to control boxing. And, they got involved, and they got those guys out of it pretty fast once they got involved. But he was a guy, he was a young lawyer out of Harvard that was working with the Justice Department. You want to hear the story, the legendary story? I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know if any of it's accurate. I know that it's plausible, and it's a good story. He was working for the Justice Department, Arum, obviously a brilliant guy out of Harvard Law School, and they're investigating, these mobsters that were running boxing, and supposedly when it started to wind down, the investigation started to wind down, and obviously Arum was privy to all this information that was out there, that they were going after him about with the mob and everything. Supposedly, the legend has it that Arum went back to his office, whatever, and said to somebody, "If these dopes can steal that much money, imagine how much I could steal." And the next day, he put in for his promotional license, and he said, and he handed his letter of resignation to the Justice Department. I don't know. Ken, I don't know. I just know that we try to tell our fans whatever we know, and maybe they enjoy that story. It is a kind of a funny story to hear. Who knows? But Arum, many decades later, is still around, and he knew one thing. Nobody had to tell him twice to disconnect himself and disavow himself in every way to a guy who a few months ago was saying, "Oh, he's a great guy."
That's right.
I mean, he's on videotape.
100%.
He's a great guy. I trust him. He's a great partner.
You know the expression, Teddy. Yeah, I was lying then. Today I'm telling the truth.
Well, that's Arum. That is Arum's quote. That is owned by Arum. That is owned by Arum.